Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you happen to be watching this. Welcome back. You're here for the main event. It is the Premier League prediction table from myself. And as we're in the Premier League, I've put on the only Premier League kit that I own, which is a Stoke City shirt. It's got green on it. That's the only reason I bought it. And yeah, love the kit. Absolutely love the kit. But again, you're not here for that. You're here for my Premier League prediction table. We're going to go through this in 4 parts. So we're going to do the bottom 5, second bottom, then the top half of the table, and then the top 5. So there might be some controversial ones in here. I think there's 1 or 2 that might be a bit like eyebrows raised about it. But enough of that. Let's just get straight into the video with the bottom 5. So if we start off with the bottom 5, then as you can see from the list here, 3 relegated teams. I think for a lot of people this might be kind of obvious, but I've gone with Brighton, Burnley and Huddersfield to get relegated. Reason why, under Chris Hughton, I just can't see how Brighton are going to pick up enough results in this league. I haven't been overly impressed with the signings that they've been making either. They're going to pick up the odd hit result here and there, but I don't know. I can't really see them picking up enough points. I think it's going to be a struggle this year, but it's good for Brighton to have top flight football back at a facility in the ground that is quite frankly amazing, and I can't wait to go there one day. I've got Burnley finishing second bottom. Again, the kind of signings that they're making are not improving the squad. They're good signings. John Walters is a good signing, you know, people like that, but they're not improving it. And I just think that this is going to be second season syndrome. I think teams are going to find them out. It's all about their home form. It is all about their home form. If they can keep that up, then they should be okay. But I think teams are going to figure them out by now. Huddersfield, I think, are going to give it an absolutely amazing go in the Premier League. But I just don't think they're going to have enough come the end of it. But what a fantastic club on and off the field. The offers that they're doing for their fans, the kind of things that they're doing for season ticket prices and all this kind of stuff like that is amazing. And the fact that the club have actually stuck to it, even though they're in the Premier League, is amazing. I said I think they're just going to fall short. Swansea have got just about surviving, and to be honest, it is all going to be about who they replace Gylfi Sigurdsson with. If they can invest the money wisely, then they should be okay. But losing a player of that quality, who pretty much single-handedly kept them up last year, that's going to be a really, really tough ask. But I've got them just about finishing above the drop zone. And Newcastle in 16th. I think the squad is good enough to keep them up, but some major investment is needed if they're going to ever progress beyond this point. They've been obviously trying to flex their muscles and they've signed one of our players, but they've massively overpaid for Jacob Murphy, in my opinion. But yeah, I think Newcastle will just about be okay. They had a squad that was too good for the Championship. It's not going to blitz the Premier League, but they are going to have enough just about to survive. So going from 11th to 15th now, or the other way around, 15th to 11th rather. Palace, it's difficult. They've made a fantastic appointment in their manager, and they're starting to make some really, really good signings. But I just don't know how they're going to finish any higher than what they are. And I don't know. For me, they just concede a lot of goals. They concede stupid goals as well. But they have made some really, really nice signings. I study, Riedeveld from Ajax. He's an absolutely brilliant player, and how they've managed to sign him up, he's going to be one to look out for this year. I've got Bournemouth finishing 14th. I just don't know how Eddie Howe continues to do it with the squad that they've got. Again, not really making massive signings, but they play some really, really nice football, and I think they should just about be okay. Stoke, whose shirt I'm wearing, they're not going anywhere under Mark Hughes. They're just not progressing, and they can't spend any money this summer. He's openly come out and said that the funds aren't going to be there. I mean, yes, they've done well to get Kurt Zuma in on a season loan, but I just don't see where they're progressing, and I think it's going to be a lower half table finish for Stoke this year. I don't see the direction. I just don't understand where they're going. I've got Leicester finishing in 12th. I think it was a good appointment to put Craig Shakespeare in charge of Leicester. But again, Not going to pick enough points to mount a top half finish, in my opinion. They are better than some of the other teams in this league, but again, it's just going to be a kind of nothing season, to be honest. And then I've got Southampton finishing in 11th. The fans were not happy with their previous manager. Now they've got somebody different in. It's a bit of an unknown quantity. That's why I kind of just stuck him in mid-table, because I didn't know how this season's going to progress. But they've got some good players down there, and they just keep churning through the youth players. Just keep churning. There's a conveyor belt of youth talent going through. And that's exactly what you want to see. This is what Southampton are, what I want my team Norwich to be. I want us to be at that particular level, and you know they're the example of where we need to get to. But as I said, for an unknown quantity, I think Southampton will finish in 11th place. Now this is where things get a little bit interesting. I've got West Brom finishing in 10th. Tony Pulis just continues to perform miracles, playing some very, very simple, basic football. But I don't think they're going to have the 8th finish as what they got last year, but I think they will finish in the top half still. They've got some really, really good players in their team. And hopefully they can start playing a little bit more of attractive football, but they won't get that until they've got survival, in inverted commas, from Tony Pulis. West Ham finishing in 9th. Last year was just an absolute disaster, to be honest. Injuries left, right and centre. New stadium move, couldn't get used to it. Things just didn't happen and didn't click. And it's all going to be about whether or not they can get a striker in the January transfer window. But I think they've had that year of transition from going from, obviously, Upton Park to the Olympic Stadium. And I think this year they'll have a much better year. And I think they're going to be finishing in 9th. I've got Watford in 8th. I've been massively impressed with the signings they've been making. They're going in the right direction as a core of young players who are going to now finally gel together. And I think under Marco Silva, what an absolutely fantastic appointment that is from Watford. I think they're going to surge up the table, and I think they're going to finish in 8th. And this is where things start to get a little bit difficult for me, because Everton have been making some amazing signings. They really, really have made some quality signings. It's just going to be a case of how quickly those players can gel and get together, and whether or not they can perform without Lukaku. And that's why I've put them in 7th. Was Lukaku a 9 or an 8, 10 every single week for Everton? No. But he got goals. He knew how to score. I'm looking to see who their replacement is, and that's why I've put them in 7th. Liverpool in 6th. This is where I think I'm going to start to get a little bit crucified. But I don't know with Liverpool. I don't know. I think European football coming back, they haven't made a significant... I mean, obviously they bought in Salah, who's a great player. But they haven't brought in enough depth to make sure that they can cover with the Premier League and the European football. And if they sell Coutinho, if Coutinho does go, that is a massive gap to try and fill. And I think they will struggle. I think Coutinho will leave, but that's why I put Liverpool in 6th. Don't hate on me too much. And here we go, the top 5. The top 2 was quite simple, to be honest with you, but I'll talk about those in a moment. Tottenham in 5th, above Liverpool. Tottenham are used to the European game now over the last couple of years. Other than the sale of Kyle Walker, I know they haven't brought anybody in, but they've kept the squad together, and that's the main thing. Other than Walker, Kieran Trippier is a perfectly good replacement for them. If they can make a couple of signings between now and the end of the window, great. If not, they've got such good youth players coming through that this is going to be a really, really good year for them. And the experience that they've had of playing at Wembley, and yes, I know they haven't had a great record at Wembley, especially in the Champions League, but they'll have that season behind them. They'll have that experience. And I just think trying to embed some of these younger players now, I think they'll have a good year. I hope. I don't think they'll make the top 4. But I am expecting them to finish in 5th. Chelsea in 4th. Simple reason that it looks like Diego Costa is going to be going. He's a massive part of how they play. And I think now that last year they only concentrate on the Premier League. Now they've got the Champions League aspect in it. And it's trying to defend that title when you've lost one of your main players. Again, It's all going to be about who you replace them with. But I think they will finish in the top 4, but only just. Again, I'm probably going to get crucified for this. God. Arsenal in 3rd. Arsenal in 3rd. Lacazette was a fantastic signing. If they can keep a hold of Sanchez and Ozil, that front 3, Lacazette, Ozil and Sanchez, that is just phenomenal. And I was one of the people that said Wenger to go, but I'm kind of glad he stayed, and I think he will get Arsenal back into the top 4, and I think they will have a good year. I think they will win a trophy under him again this year, probably an FA Cup or a League Cup, but I'm predicting Arsenal to finish in 3rd. And again, for me, the top 2 was really easy to pick. This was probably the easiest part of the prediction table for me to pick. Man City, I think, are going to roll away with the league. I just think that, again, they've had the season under Pep Guardiola to get used to how he wants to play. He's got rid of the players that he doesn't think are going to be able to cope with it, likes of Zabaleta, likes of Gael Clichy, Sagna, Fernando's going to look like he's been going, or Fernandinho, rather, one of them is going. And they've replaced it with some really, really smart signings. Spent a lot of money. And I think for that kind of money, he has to go and win the league. And he's got to do well in the Champions League as well. And that's why I put them in 1st. And Man United, again, a whole season under Jose Mourinho. He won the treble last year. Let's not forget, he won 3 trophies last year. That is impressive in your first season. Yes, it's a Community Shield, whatever the case may be. But he won 3 trophies in his first year. And apparently he struggled. Absolute rubbish. And now he's got Man United back in the Champions League. He's got Champions League football back at Old Trafford. I'm expecting big things from Man United this year. He's made some really, really decent signings. Very, very clever signings. Lukaku is going to be interesting to see how he adjusts to this and how his game is going to work at Man United. But again, I'm expecting big things from this. And I just like Jose Mourinho. I think the style of football he plays isn't always attractive, but he knows how to get results. And I can see them having a really, really good season and finishing 2nd just behind Man City. But that is my predictions. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. I cannot wait to hear what you guys have got to say on this. Put down in there your 1 to 20, because that'll be really interesting to see what you guys think, and especially the top, I'll say top 7. Do you think Everton, with the signings that they've made, are going to go above now? And do you think they could finish possibly above the likes of Tottenham, who haven't spent any money? Do you think they could finish above Liverpool? Are Arsenal going to make the top 4? Who's going to win the league? Who's going to get relegated? Because I'm sure somebody will disagree with me about this, about who's going to be relegated, especially Brighton fans. I can imagine Brighton fans are going to have an absolute field day in the comments section. But as I said, put your 1 to 20 in there. Disagree with what I've said, agree with it, just put a comment in the section below. That would be absolutely amazing. Subscribe to the channel to watch future content, because I've got loads more coming up over the next couple of weeks and next couple of months. Go back and check the Championship, League 1 and League 2 as well. If you're into lower league football, go and watch those prediction videos out and let me know what you think about that, as I said, in those other videos as well. But you guys have been awesome. I look forward to interacting with you in the comment section. I do reply to every single comment that is left. So please leave something down on there, and I can't wait to have a bit of a chat with you. But until we see each other next time, as always on the channel, adios.